I'm going to give you just a little bit of notes on the new topic that we're talking about. Most of it is self-explanatory, but I felt like it would be easier if I just go ahead and explain it. First of all, you might see these letters Cpctc, and it stands for corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. Basically, all that means is if you have two triangles that are congruent, then their parts are congruent. If the triangles are congruent, the angles are congruent, the sides are congruent, all those kinds of things. So it's just an acronym that sometimes people say, but it's corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. So first of all, number one here, if you look at all of those symbols, they're telling you the triangles are congruent. And so down at the bottom it says triangle ABC is congruent to, and what you're supposed to do is write the triangle that it's congruent to. Well, A corresponds to E because they both have two little lines up there, so E goes first. B's next, and if you'll notice B corresponds with F because they have that one little curve there. And then C's got to be last, and that's a really light color, so I'm going to do it in red. So your answer there is triangle EFD. You're just trying to write down whatever the order would be according to the way the picture is drawn. So for number 2, if you'll notice it's a little bit backwards. Okay, it says LMN. I can tell that L is congruent to S, so I know that's S. Okay, look at M. M is here. Notice it has one little curve there, so I'm going to find the one over here that has one little curve, so that must be P. And then N and T must match up, so it's triangle SPT. Alright, number 3. So first of all, we're going to write down the triangle congruence, ABC. So A, you see how it's between the 1 and the 2? So over here, here's the 1, here's the 2, so that must be E. Alright, B is next over here, so we've got A, B is next. Okay, B is between 1 and 3. So come over here, here's 1, here's 3. So B must be D. And then that means that C has to correspond with F. I'm going to erase these marks so I can help you with the rest of it. Alright, it says angle A is congruent to. You can look at this relationship that you have right here and notice A goes with E, so you can already say that that's angle E. Or if you just want to go back to it again, look at the fact that A is between 1 and 2 lines and E is between 1 and 2 lines. So C, if I notice here, C is at the end, so C must go with F. Alright, next it says A and B. So A and B is first right there, so the first two that are next up there are E and D, so that must be E and D. Next it says A and C. Well, A and C are right there, the first and the last. Well, the first and the last, when I look at it here, are E and F, so that must be E and F. So when you match up the parts, you're just always looking at how to match up each little piece. Okay, the other question, here we don't have a picture, but that's okay because they already tell me that TAN, tan, it corresponds with and is congruent to big. So I'm just going to look at it. A is in the middle, so angle A corresponds with the one in the middle, which is angle I. AN, well, AN's at the end, So that must be IG corresponds to or is congruent to. Last is NAT. As far as NAT, notice that it's backwards, starting with N and going this way. So it's got to be the other way. So it's GIB. So it's the same way, just using that congruent statement.